cares? Does this look like March weather? No, it's cloudy, it's icky. Blech. All right, three things. We're going to talk about three things. Number one, thank you to everybody who contacted your congressmen, your representatives, your House of Representatives people, because that worked. Their Health Care Act is dead. Long live the GOP Health Care Act. So, good job, everybody. Good job. Oh, excuse me. And it may not look like March, but it's allergy season like March. Number two. Now, according to everything I've read, the Washington Post, the Time, everything, the GOP is going to pivot to tax reform. I want you guys to think about this long and hard, because tax reform means they're going to cut taxes for the rich, and they're going to tell the people who pay taxes, you and me, those of us in middle class, that this is a good thing. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons their Health Care Act was so crappy, is because they had big tax breaks in it for everybody but us, for the people who actually pay taxes. That's what they're going to spin to. They're going to have a much easier time getting the Republicans, the moderates, and especially the far right behind a tax cut. It is not something we should support. First of all, our government needs money. It needs money to run. It needs money for roads. It needs money for police. It needs money for military. It needs money to make sure that the poor don't fall through a safety net. And I don't want to hear any of you fuckers talking about entitlements. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. If our government's job is not to make sure that there is a safety net underneath our people, then what the hell do we need all that money for a military for? And that's another thing. Trump's budget is balancing on the backs of the poor and the middle class. He wants to give a $54 billion raise to the military. Not to the military people. I'm not saying to the military people. I'm not talking about servicemen and women. No raise for you. No raise for you. Although I was told by somebody whose son is in the military, and he said, Trump gave me a raise. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Trump hasn't done squat for you. Just keep that in mind. Trump has not, nor will, do squat for you. His goal is not to help the American people. You know, he can't even tell you the reason why the health care reform, or their act, the GOP crappy act, death care is what I call it, failed. He's blaming the Democrats. Then he blames the far right. No, it failed because the American people basically told their representatives, if you vote for this, we're getting rid of you. We need to do it again. We need to do it again. Whatever plan they come up with, it's gonna suck, because Paul Ryan had that plan. Remember when he ran with Mitt Romney in 2012? He had that plan, and let me tell you, it was going to double my taxes. It was going to double my taxes. So it was not going to help, because let's face it, I pay a percentage that's higher than Mitt Romney, and I shouldn't. Those who take from our economy and earn from our economy who get the best out of our economy, should be paying the highest taxes. And they don't. They don't. They just don't. So that's something that we need to keep an eye on. Let's read this carefully. And let's do it again. Resist, resist, resist. And the third thing, we have less than a week to go in the Women's History Month, and I didn't even mention it this month. Sorry about that. But did you also know that March is supposed to be Podcast Month, or Podcast Awareness Month, or something like that? We have too many things going on in all of our months. So here's the deal. I have a favorite podcast. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but it's from Gimlet Media, and it's called Crime Town. And it's about the mob in Providence, Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island. Yes, Providence, Rhode Island, where they say ka and pak. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love listening to these guys. So they're doing a bonus episode. So there's plenty of time for you to catch up on the previous 13 episodes. Oh, for God's sakes, Mr. Illinois, what are you doing? The rest of us would like to make it to work. I don't know what you're doing up here, but get the hell out of the way. Anyway, you got to listen to this podcast. You got to listen to it. It's fabulous. But here's my kicker. Here's my little take that I've been saying it, and I'm going to say I've said it so many times with board Cheryl. I'm going to say it many more times, I'm sure. But you know what's wrong with the mob and gangsters? No, Julie, tell us what's wrong with the mob and gangsters. I'm so glad you want to know. What's wrong with the mob and gangsters? This isn't doing me any good. I'm stuck in traffic. What are you going to do? Is the fact that these guys are really smart. They are really smart, and they're wasting their brain power. If this Tony, who's in this Cat and Mouse Part 2, he was also in Cat and Mouse Part 1, Tony Fierro, he is a burglar. And he moves on to Kaz. And, you know what? He's genius. Genius! Why didn't he put his brains into something besides a life of crime? I don't have an answer for that. But I know that gangbangers today, they're just as smart. Oh, they know how much money you owe them when you're selling their coke for them. You don't give that money back. They know you owe them. They know you've skimmed. They can tell. These guys are not stupid. That's what bugs me. They probably make excellent businessmen. Ruthless, but excellent. They should be doing something else. We need to reach out to these guys and figure out how to rehabilitate them so that they can do other things. Like rob us on Wall Street, which is what the rest of them do. Anyway, that's just my thought. So listen to Crime Town. So what have we learned today, commuters? 1, good news. The GOP's Healthcare Act failed. And it's dead, at least for now. 2, the GOP is going to move into tax cuts, which is not good for you and me. Keep that in mind. 2. 3, we all want to listen to Crime Town from Gimlet Media. You can find it on Google Play and Stitcher and iTunes. So, not that I would ever listen to it on iTunes. So, please do that. So that's what we've learned today. So have a great day, commuters.